Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, good evening. It's 7 o'clock. It's an evening. Welcome back to a Track Titan community race stream. We are here at Road Atlanta in Georgia, USA. 4.08 kilometers of track. That's about just under, I think it's like 2.5 miles if you want to use Yankee units, because I know that we are in America, so let's get in the local way of doing it. Joining me in the commentary booth today is Spitzlam. He's back, and we missed him dearly. How are you today?
I'm fine. Hello, guys and girls.
So yeah, Spitzlam, you missed out on a fantastic race last time out. To be honest with you, we were at Knockhill, and it brought us some interesting racing. And I think the biggest winner of the day was Henry Comsey, because he won 2 races. I think he won 2 races in a row, if I remember correctly.
I don't know. I didn't watch the whole race. I was at the chat for qualifying, but
yeah,
then I just fell sleepy after a 14-hour ride in a bus.
Hey, you missed out on some. You missed out on some very good racing. Let me tell you, those Abarths led themselves to some good times on track. But that's all in the past, of course. And the leadership battle has tightened up a little bit. There's now only 31 points between the top 2, Max Newt 7 and Ryan Skywalker. However, which is less than there was coming into last week. But more importantly than that, potentially, if Max Newt 7 can come back into form, is that Henry Comsey is also closing up on the back of Ryan Skywalker. There's only 32 points between them. So it's tight at the top, and it's tight all the way down. Michelle Rodriguez and Eric Mondera duking it out for 3rd, with Dennis Bosman involved as well. And I'm not sure if Dennis is back again today, so it looks like them two might clear away as they battle for 4th, rather. Sorry. So yeah, the championship's beginning to look a little bit interesting as we reach week 8 of the season.
Seems like it.
So yeah, fingers crossed we've got some good racing today. Have you raced this track before at all, Spitzlam?
No, I actually downloaded it just right now before the race. I thought I had it because I raced it on World Sim Series one time, but guess I didn't have it. So.
To tell you the truth, I also just downloaded it today. I haven't had any time this week to be putting any hot laps in, so this is a completely foreign track to me. So I took some time to try and learn it, see what the camera angles are going to be like. But if this is a bit ropey, you're just gonna have to bear with us here. There's not many corner names for me to get wrong, fortunately. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I know Max Newt here is at the kind of top of the track, and I will jump to an onboard with Max Newt 7, and he can try and kind of lead us around the circuit so we can get our bearings and start to understand what's going on. I've no idea where the kind of overtaking opportunities are going to be on this circuit or anything like that. It's not one that I'm familiar with, but it does look like a good circuit to race at.
Oh, it definitely seems. I think the chicane that Max is right now in the S's might be a great overtaking point for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. I think
Maybe
it will be heavy braking
down there. Last turn, you can take it out wide. Some dive bombs again. The last turn, road gets tighter into the first straight. Turn 1 is a fast sweeper. There might be overtaking opportunities as well. Going into the S's, the Clayton corner, a little bit of chicane. There might be. Maybe if we got a lot of speed right now in the Quebec corner, there could be overtaking opportunities. And that's a mistake in the Quebec corner by Max Newt.
That is a rare mistake eked out by Mr. Max Newt 7. We don't see many of them, but actually when I cut to him just before, he was, I think, struggling with these S's. I mean, they are unforgiving, aren't they? He didn't get too much on the curb there, but he just got sent completely round.
He just went flying. I never actually saw that happen on a track we raced on.
Yeah.
Like into the Moss corner, the little hairpin, if we can call it a hairpin.
That's a.
The most corner.
It reminds me of a mini Lesmos. Is what it reminds me of. Kind of
Oh yeah, you're right.
A two
Yeah,
right hand.
Andretti straightaway, the longest straight on the circuit. Maybe some slipstream right here, and how I said back into the assists, the chicane. That's named SS, because that makes sense. Yeah, there might be some switchbacks right here, and the last turn just send it some dive bombs. That's basically, maybe you can overtake on every corner if you know how to.
Yeah, I'm sure that some of the faster drivers can find their way through. I know we've got a bit of a range of drivers out here on the circuit, and that's been reflected by the timings. And actually, to speak of the timings, it's currently topped by Mr. Sven Gielhod. I'm hoping pronouncing his name right. I really do, because I am sure he's going to be up towards the front of this race consistently. He's come in this week. I think he's a new driver this week to Track Titan, and he has set the Hot Lap Challenge board alight. I think only Ryan beat him this week. He's been absolutely smashing it. He's a experienced sim racing driver by the looks of it. We've had some people have been chatting about him, people, you know, wanting to square up to him, I suppose. But he's a man that's raced for sim racing teams and touring car championships and endurance championships. So I'm expecting a big race from Sven today. And currently, the only man to even come near him is Eric Schmidera. And I say near him, he's a second and a half down from him. So if Sven runs away with this, we might potentially have a bit of a shake-up on our hands in the championship. But also another driver that's new that I haven't seen before is Carl Magnus Bora. And he is doing very, very well, sat ahead of Isaac Gard right now. And that's another new, fresh face in the championship, and hopefully one that's going to stick around. We do like to see some fresh faces in the Track Titan Championship, don't we?
But also, we don't have a classic face. Where is Bathtub? Is my question right now.
Where is Bathtub?
I don't know. Is he fine?
I hope he makes an appearance at some point. I'd be ashamed to miss him, but
he's idle, so I don't know. That's someone drifting the Quebec corner in front of Max Studio. Who was that? That was a nice drift. I want to know. That was Alex. Maybe that was Alex Heller.
Alex Heller is known for his drifting techniques. He managed to drift a Bath last week, I think. But yeah, anyway, we've had a lot of chatter about drivers, about the circuit, and about, well, everything but the racing so far. And I think we kind of do need to focus on the qualifying, because there's only 1 minute 46 left, and I did say before, you know, Sven is setting the leaderboard alight right now, 1:19.053. That's a blistering lap time. He's well over a second ahead of even Max Newt 7, who's in second, who we know is a very, very fast driver. So if Sven can put that kind of distance between himself and Max, that just goes to show the talent we've got on the grid today. Max doesn't improve his time. Let's see if he can get an improvement to his time at all. And also, the man that's in second place in the championship, Ryan Skywalker. Where is he right now? He's currently in a bit of a trainer cars right now, just ahead of Eric Schmidera. So we'll see if we can find Ryan. Here he is. He's at the top of the track of the double right-hander as he heads down the back straight, and he's got about 2 or 3 drivers in front of him. Hopefully they don't get into his way too much and affect his lap times, because he's currently on a decent lap with a 24.971. That's a very, very fast first sector, but not the fastest of anyone. So we'll see how he improves as he heads through into the chicane and then round to finish his lap. But early on, Sven setting the benchmark. Do you think... I'm going to ask you early this time, Spitslam. Who's going to be in front by the first corner?
Well, as we know, Sven is the experienced driver here. Ryan puts it into second place. Also, an experienced driver for us, at least.
A blistering lap from Ryan Skywalker there. Ryan is a very experienced driver. He's raced in a lot of sim racing series and championships in South Africa particularly. So if we can get Ryan and Sven to have a decent battle on track, this could be some serious viewing for everyone at home today. And
also Eric might be a very good contender. Also a contender in many leagues in Poland, racing the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Yeah,
not the real ones, but
no, it's very true. Eric is a very experienced driver. However, I'm also discounting Eric a little bit today because he is driving handicapped, as he has.
He's drunk. Let's just say it, he's drunk.
So
let's just put the hike in an ad.
We'll go with the...
Drink.
Yeah, don't drink and drive. He's driving with a handicap, is Eric Schmidera today. So let's see how it goes. But he's currently in 4th position, which is incredible considering the intake that he's got. Yeah, exactly. But the clock has ticked down to 0, so we'll see if Ryan Skywalker can improve on this lap that he's on right now. He's at a fastest first sector. He's at a decent second sector, but not one of the fastest. A driver's in the way there. Oh, and he's oversteered, and he's into the pits. The driver there spinning on the final corner, slowing him down. He's bailed his lap, so it looks like at the end of the qualifying, it's going to be Sven Gilhard taking pole position in his first Track Titan Community race. What a debut this is going to be for Sven. If he can carry on this form into the racing, it's Ryan Skywalker in 2nd position, and then it was Max Newt 7 in 3rd. So we're set for a very, very exciting race here.
Oh, God.
At Road Atlanta, you can see the cars kind of just curling around. We've not got a best grid today. Only 13 drivers, so it should be less chaotic.
So far away from turn 1. God damn.
That's very true.
The finish line would be like in the middle of the line. It's at the complete end. Like,
yeah, this is
maybe this track is built for more endurance racing. I don't know.
Oh, I think it's built for a lot of Can-Am racing.
There are even more boxes in front of them, so I don't know.
Well, this is where they're starting from this time, so it should make it interesting for us as we see them going into the first corner. But like you said, it's a high-speed sweeping corner, so we'll see who edges a front by the first corner. 6 red lights are on, 6 red lights go out. Away we go. Ryan Skywalker not getting the best of starts there. Sven getting the early nod ahead, and Max Newt 7 is well alongside Ryan Skywalker by the side to get into the first corner, the front 2 of the championship. A side-by-side heading in. Ryan Skywalker though does have the inside line. He's going to try and hold the position ahead of Max Newt 7, who's going to try and hang on around the outside as they head in towards the S's, in towards turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. It's a very tight thing, and Sven is just flying off ahead. Look at the gap that he's already put between himself and Ryan Skywalker in 2nd position. Sven Gilhard taking the initiative and leaping off the line, whilst Ryan needs to defend from Max Newt 7. And Max Newt 7's off, and Max Newt 7's well off the track there. There's a driver spinning out in the background there, dropping down the order. I think that's Henry Comsey from 3rd position in the championship, dropping down the order all the way down into 12th position now, rejoining just ahead of El Grippo. And Max Newt 7 also having an incident coming out of turn 5 and over the hill. He really struggled with that in qualifying, and he struggled with that once again in the race. So the 2 Finns dropping down the order, and so leading the pack currently is Mr. Sven. I'm not sure what nationality Sven is, but he's closely chased by the South African and the pole of Ryan Skywalker and Eric Schmidera. Did you see any more chaos happening further down the grid there, Spitzler?
I don't know. First turn, El Ripo, if I'm right, El Ripo smells like we and Diego Texar crashed. El Ripo, it seemed like El Ripo spun into the first corner. I don't know how he managed to do that. Even I can do that, and he's somehow managed to.
I think it's so easy to lose the back end on them high-speed corners.
There's a large battle of almost side by side into turn 1. Isaac God and Carl. Isaac God going off Michelle Rodriguez getting 6th place, chasing Carl. Maybe we can have more fights than we thought. It's going to be action-packed race.
Yeah, this should be an action-packed race. There's only 13 drivers on the grid, but this is 13 very talented and 13 very clean drivers, I hope, for the rest of the race. I say, well, we haven't gone into the second race yet. But that's the battle for 6th position going on. Isaac Gard running wide there at the first corner, dropping himself down a few positions, and Carl Magnus Bora moving up an inherited 5th position, just behind Max Newt 7, who is keeping honest currently, still only about a second between them. Meanwhile, Eric Schmidera dropping back from Ryan Skywalker. Ryan Skywalker sticking towards the front, and it's a battle between the top 2 for now. It's Sven versus Ryan, duking it out up at the front of the pack, only half a second between the pair of them, and then it's Eric Schmidera getting chased by Max Newt 7, Carl Magnus Borg, Michelle Rodriguez, and then Keith Horton and Alexander Gray a little bit further behind as Alexander Gray goes side by side with Isaac Gard over the crest, down the hill. Alexander Gray has the inside line into the chicane, so he's going to try and break deep and hold off Isaac Gard. And Isaac Gard's going to try and hold on all the way around the outside, but it's not going to happen. Alexander Gray's going to shut that door well and truly closed. Meanwhile, up towards the front, Eric Schmidera has had a spin and he's off.
Yeah, that's Eric.
He's off at the final corner. He's stuck.
Carol off as well. Carol just stopped. That's pit line for Carl Magnus. That's a DNF.
Carl Magnus Bora disconnecting from the server. Not sure what happened there. Was there an incident between himself and Eric?
He didn't disconnect. He's just in the pits. Eric, it doesn't seem that Eric can move. There must have been a large crash.
Very
Eric can
interesting.
move.
Yeah, Richard Madera trying to move there, but he's stuck on
Look
the
at his
final corner,
car.
so he's a very, very smashed up car, so potentially some contact between himself and Carl Magnus Bora there. That might potentially be why
He's
Carl is in
trying
the
to spin
pits.
the rear wheels. Trying to spin the rear wheels. Nothing is happening. Broken suspension. Broken everything.
Well, no yellow flags and no safety cars in enforcement here on the Track Time Community Race Series, so the race rages on between Ryan Skywalker and Sven Gielhold, and they're going side by side into the final chicane now. Ryan Skywalker trying to hold the outside line. He's going to try and get a switch back out the final corner and get some better speed off the final corner onto the start-finish straight. We'll see if it works for him. There's still the rolling roadblock of Eric Madera sat on the exit of the final corner. We'll see if he can get back to the pits anytime soon. Meanwhile, Sven holds off Ryan for now. What's that, sorry?
He's coming into the pits. He somehow got the car rolling. It's fine. He's coming into the pits slowly but carefully. He's going in.
Well, there you go. Right, Eric Madera recovering. Hopefully, he can get back to the pits.
Yeah, he retiring, going to the grass, I think.
Yeah, getting out of the way.
Why didn't he go to the pits? Let's go.
Well, as long as he's off the track and out of the way of the race, and we shouldn't get too involved, and that should be the end of Eric Madera's race for today. Yeah. We'll see how he gets on in the second race of the day, which of course follows this one directly. Up at the front, it's still tight. Ryan Skywalker and Sven Gielhold still duking it out. Meanwhile, further back, Isaac Gard, Alexander Gray, and Keith Holt are all line astern heading down the straight now. 3 in a row, and then closely up ahead, it's Michelle Rodriguez. So it's actually more like 4 in a row as they head round the double right-hander onto the back straight. All of them line astern, all of them trying to get in each other's slipstream and learn each other's lines. Alexander Gray is trying to capitalise the most here and get himself ahead of Isaac Gard, who is a little bit all over the shop in the bright yellow Porsche there. Alexander Gray trying to channel his inner light side on the left side of his car, taken to the outside of the chicane, braking deep in. Can he try and do what Isaac Gard couldn't do last time round? No, he can't. He's going to try and potentially get the switchback or get the inside line at least out the final corner there. And they are still a quarter side by side. Alexander Gray up alongside Isaac Gard. He's through and ahead, but is Isaac Gard going to have a better run onto the start finish straight? Oh, he's definitely not, because Alexander Gray has well and truly shut the door on him there. There is no way Isaac Gard was going to get back onto the track with Alexander Gray, with an Alexander Gray shaped roadblock in the way there. And Mr. Gray moves up into 6th position ahead of Isaac Gard. That was a good move, wasn't it?
That was a clean move. That was really clean. That's how we do it, guys.
Yeah, very, very nice move.
Alex and El Ripo, maybe Alex had a little bit of crash because he was going slowly right now after the assist.
Oh, yeah, looks like Alexander Heller might have had an incident. Oh, and another man who's had an incident is Michelle Rodriguez. He's been caught out by the classic turn 5 hill there. It's that compression as you go over the hill and you have to turn as well. It just unsettles that rear end of the car, and the cars seem to be just spinning round like you're at turn 4 at Barcelona. And Michel Rodriguez has dropped himself all the way down into 8th position now, all the way from 4th, which is a real shame for Michel there. He was hoping to bring home a good amount of points and try and keep himself ahead of Eric Madera, although I'm sure he will be after Eric Madera's current DNF.
Fastest lap 1:18.953 thousandths. Sven is doing qualifying laps right now on the medium tire. It's a race. He doesn't even care. He's put in such good lap times. It's unbelievable.
This is
he has a scorched car that fits him. That fits him too much. It's great.
It's incredible form from Sven here, and what a way to make a debut here at Track Titan, the Track Titan Community Race Series. And he's keeping himself well ahead of Ryan Skywalker. Ryan Skywalker doing all he can to keep him honest, but yeah, just not got the answers as it stands right now. Sven Gielhold is just running away with this. And, well, I mean, I did preface it in qualifying. We know what kind of talent this man's got coming into the race, so we should have expected no less, truthfully. But still, it's always a surprise when you see drivers like Ryan Skywalker and Max 7 be absolutely humbled, because we know that these are some of the faster drivers, especially in a Assetto Corsa, if not the world. So, yeah, really, really setting the timing boards alight. But that being said, Ryan Skywalker isn't dropping back, so if Sven makes one mistake, Ryan is right there on him. So I wouldn't count him out, especially going to the second race where Ryan knows how to deal with the Track Titan copyrighted chaos, whereas Sven might not. Smells Like We is catching up to Michelle Rodriguez for 7th position. Michelle probably struggling with a little bit of damage after he went round after turn 5. And smells like we're looking to try and capitalise on that and gain a little bit of time on him as he head down in towards the chicanes. There's just over a second between the pair of them, and that's about all the racing that's on track, really, isn't it? Alexander Gray and Keith Holt are also close together. Just about a second between them, so we'll see if any of these battles kind of tighten up. Alexander Gray, of course, got himself past Isaac Gard not too long ago. He's now hunting down Keith to try and inherit that 4th position. Alex is really, really doing well for himself this season. Really getting home some good points, and he did very well last week, and he's going to do very well again this week by the looks of it if it stays like this. Oh, Eric Mandera is not DNF. He's waiting for repairs. Just had an infinite...
He'll wait a long time.
Just been informed. There he is, in the pits.
He'll be there a long time. Those repairs... The damage on that car seemed massive. So...
Well, we'll see if he gets out again. And, of course, main thing is, if he does get out again, he doesn't start from the back, because if you DNF, you start from the back in the second race. So, Eric's hoping to get back out, and then he'll start on pole for the second race, which could be a great position for him to be in. We know that he's a fast driver.
Again, with the qualifying, Ryan, 118.802.
Yeah, Ryan unlocking some pace there and bringing the battle at the front just a little bit tighter. Just over half a second between the pair of them now, so this could potentially get very, very spicy as we come towards the end of the race. 5 minutes left. Ryan Skywalker and Sven Gielhold going tooth and nail at it at the front. And equally tight is Alexander Gray and Keith Holt for 4th position. Isaac Gard looking to try and scoop up any scraps if these two do come together, but these are two very, very safe drivers, Alexander and Keith, so I expect some fair racing from the pair of them. We'll see. Alexander Gray tailing Isaac Gard through the Keith Holt through the S's, and Isaac really crunching up to the back of Alexander here, and actually has suddenly found a turn of pace. He's alongside Isaac Gard before they even get to the double right-hander, and I think he's going to be through if he can hold on to this inside line just ahead of Alexander Gray. He's a quarter alongside now. He's ahead before the corner starts, but he's behind by the corner end, and Alexander Gray and Isaac Gard have got a decent exit, the pair of them, and all this battling is just going to allow Keith Holt to run away with it up in 4th position. If these two don't sort themselves out and work together, Keith is going to get well away from them, but that doesn't matter to these two drivers. They've got one thing on their mind, and that is getting ahead of each other. So as they come down towards the chicane, the final chicane here at Road Atlanta, Alexander Gray holds onto the inside line, holds onto 5th position for a little bit. Oh, no, Isaac Gard bumps onto the back of him, and he goes round, and that's the danger of riding so closely together, battling so tightly. Isaac takes the little chicane there back round and rejoins in 6th position, just ahead of Michelle Rodriguez. And, well, they were racing so closely there, and they just came together, and that's the fine margins that we're working with here, isn't it?
It definitely is. It smells like we is scattering time on Michelle Rodriguez. He is hunting him down. Not a thing you see often. An Englishman hunting down a Swedish. We can see that he is going for the Swedish meatballs.
Sounds like we is after some Swedish meatballs today. Michelle Rodriguez is desperately running away, trying to shield his balls through the S's and over turn 5, where Michelle Rodriguez lost it just a few laps ago, and Michelle's holding on to it, and he's holding on 7th position now, but he is fighting with one hand behind his back because he has got that damaged car, hasn't he? I'm not sure how much that's affected his car. Might not be affecting his driving too much. And, oh, it's like Eric Shimandera. He's back out into the race. He waited for repairs for about 5-10 minutes, and he's back out into the race. Absolutely heroic stuff. He's still going to be racing. He's going to be 6 laps behind. We'll see if he gets involved in any battles with blue flags. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. I don't want to curse them. But we'll see how his race goes. And, of course, he'll start from pole for the second race if things carry on this way. And, well, guess who he's just behind? It's Ryan Skywalker and Sven Gielhold. Still so tight up at the front. Still under a second between the pair of them. These two have not gone more than a second and a half between them this entire race. This is incredible racing from the pair of them, from the pair of very talented drivers, and we'll see if other drivers such as Max 67 and Henry Comsey can come into this battle in the second race when things get switched up a little bit. But for now, it's just these two. Sven holding on to 1st position for now as they come up to the back of Alex Heller, the back marker here, getting served blue flags, getting well out of the way there, and getting off the track to get out of the way there. Very courteous of Alex to not get involved in this lead battle, so
bandit.
He's trying to get rid of his reputation of the bandit, isn't he?
That's not nice. Come on, keep it. It's fun. It's fun. Keep it.
Down in 12th position though, Alex Heller. Not got a lot to fight for in terms of points. He is 20 seconds away from a points finish at the minute, so just trying to keep his nose clean, I think. However, speaking of points finishes, we'll jump away from this lead battle for just a minute because Diogo Teixeira and El Ripo are tight as they're battling over 10th position, coming out of the double right-hander. They're about 2 corners ahead of the leaders, so they might come into this by the end of it. We'll see if they can catch up within a minute and a lap. But Diogo Teixeira is hounding El Ripo. He's trying to take the 1 point away from him. The 1 point that El Ripo wants to hold on to because, of course, coming into this this race, this race evening, El Ripo is currently sat 12th in the leaderboard, and he's been well and truly passed by Alexander Gray in the last few weeks. So he's going to want to try and hold on to all the points that he possibly can. And Diogo Teixeira is helping him out there by messing it up out of the final chicane and going all over the grass and dropping some time to El Ripo. So looks like 10th place potentially secured for El Ripo. We'll see. And we'll jump back to the battle at the front because they've got 2 laps of this to go.
It smells like we spun. The battle that was going so long, the pressure just got him and he spun.
That is a real shame. Smells like we there. He was battling, yeah, well with Michel Rodriguez for a lot of that race there. Must have been about 3 or 4 laps of battling, and that was the same place where everyone seems to be getting caught out. It's on the exit of turn 5 when you go over the hill.
Cubic corner.
It's an absolute mousetrap. It's a mousetrap for drivers.
Just get good. I don't know what to say for this.
Just get good, exactly. That's a message to the drivers. Get good and you won't spin. Anyway, the battle still rages at the front, as it has done this entire race. They've not let up, and now it's about as tight as it's ever been. Ryan Skywalker coming onto the penultimate lap. He's going to start the final lap as they come around the next few corners, down the back straight. He's a quarter alongside Sven Gielhold. He's halfway alongside. He's fully alongside, and I think he's just ahead of Sven Gielhold. Oh, and they touch a little bit heading down the back straight, but Sven does have the inside line, but Ryan well and truly covers him off there, moving to the inside, forcing Sven into an awkward line, and Sven's going to try and maximise all that he possibly can, coming out of the corner, getting all over the exit curves there to get all the speed onto the start finish straight he possibly can, but it's not enough because Ryan Skywalker has secured this first position. Oh, he's not! Oh, he's gone off! Ryan Skywalker has spun on the exit of the final corner there onto the start finish straight, just a little bit. I don't know what that was. You could just see it happen almost in slow motion. The back end just stepped out on Ryan Skywalker. He just spins out of the lead, and Sven Gielhold well and truly inherits the lead. He surely can't throw this away now, and Ryan is really struggling. He's spun again on the exit of the first corner. He's well and truly struggling. He's dropped down into 3rd position, dropped down into 4th position. I think he's struggling to even get it started here as Keith Holt, I think, is coming around the final corner. He's into 3rd position now. We'll see if Ryan Skywalker drops down anymore on this final lap. But wow, absolute drama as he goes into the start-finish straight, and more drama on the start-finish straight because Keith Holt and Alexander Gray are alongside each other. Keith Holt hanging it around the outside there, just about holding on to 4th position ahead of Alexander Gray. And into the S's, Alexander still hounding Keith, not letting him have a moment's peace. And then I'm going to jump away from this because in amongst all the chaos of Ryan Skywalker, there's one man who's kept his head cool. There's one man who's come in today. He started on pole. He led almost every lap. I think the timing tower might even show that he led every single lap because Ryan spun before the start finish straight. It's a win on his debut for Sven Gielhold. Incredible racing from the driver there, and he's finished in 1st position ahead of Max Newt 7, who comes around the final corner to claim 2nd position, and that's a crucial amount of points ahead of Ryan Skywalker, his championship rival, who finishes in 3rd position provided all things go to plan and Keith doesn't catch him. But Keith's got bigger fish to fry because Alexander Gray is well up alongside him. He's up the inside of the final chicane there, and Alexander Gray is sticking to the inside line. He's along and he's ahead of Keith Holt out of the final chicane there. Alexander Gray making the move when it counted, getting himself up into 4th position ahead of Keith Holt, and he's going to take home 4th. That's a really, really strong finish from Alexander Gray ahead of Keith, who also has a decent finish there in 5th, all things considered. So Ryan Skywalker finishing in 3rd there as well in amongst all that. Isaac Gard finishing 6th, and then Michel Rodriguez, who span on the exit of the 5th corner.
One last point.
There is 1 point up for grabs here between Diogo Teixeira and Smells Like We, and the leader behind. The leader's coming round to finish on his flying lap. But Smells Like We looking to try and find a way past Diogo Teixeira, potentially into the final corner. He's down to 0.2 of a second between the pair of them, coming round the final chicane now. Right line astern out of the final chicane. It looks like the move has already been made. Diogo Teixeira is going to hold on to 10th position right to the line here, and he's going to claim that final point just ahead of Smells Like We. And then Alex Heller finishing it up. Eric Schmidera finishing a few laps down because of his repairs. And what a crazy finish to that race that was up at the front of the pack, hey?
That was a really crazy finish. No one expected that.
I fully thought Ryan Skywalker had secured the win there, but he just span right on the exit of the final corner, and it just goes to show how unforgiving this circuit seemingly is. This might become a new one of my favourites. I do like these kind of circuits that catch drivers out. They really get me going.
It's Eric first.
It is, of course, with that, well, what I thought was a DNF, but was actually just repairs. Eric Schmidera does start this race on pole position, just ahead of Mr. Diogo Teixeira, I believe. Sorry, Alex Heller in second position. On the second row, then, it Smells Like We alongside Diogo Teixeira. El Rippo alongside Henry Comsey on the third row. Michelle Rodriguez, Isaac Gard, Keith Hall, Alexander Gray, Ryan Skywalker, Max 27, and then Sven Gielholt rounds out the grid, of course, starting at the back because he won the first race. We'll see what Eric can do from pole. We know he's a fast driver, and we know he's got the pace in him to win this one. We'll see if he can. 6 red lights go out for 13 drivers on the grid. 12 drivers on the grid, rather. No, 13 drivers on the grid. I've got it right. As they go into first corner now. Eric Schmidera is holding on to this lead, but there's a 3-way battle behind him, between Alex Heller, Diogo Teixeira, and El Rippo, I believe it is, and Smells Like We moving up into second position there briefly. And there's a driver around. There's multiple drivers around. Keith Holt is stopped on the exit of the circuit. Oh, Michelle Rodriguez, the bad luck bandit, is well and truly out of this race. Dropped down all the way to the back of the grid into the wall, and he's got more damage.
Max spins as well.
Max Newt 7 spinning. Oh, and he's dropped down. That could be crucial in the championship. Again. Oh, and there's a big bit of chaos here.
Oh, El Rippo.
Ryan Skywalker.
Oh.
Ryan Skywalker's off. Ryan Skywalker's gone off on the exit of turn 5. I'm not sure what happened there, whether that was an accident involving El Rippo and a couple of the drivers, but he has dropped himself all the way down into 11th position, and that is devastating for Ryan, who was battling for the lead in the first race. The man that he was battling for the lead with, Sven Gielholt, is just battling for 7th position now. A decent start from him, avoiding most of the chaos. Henry Comsey, another fast driver, is chasing down Smells Like We for 4th position, and Isaac Gard is hunting down Diogo Teixeira down the back straight. We know Isaac's a fast driver. We've seen him win races before. He's going to come into the final chicane, try and hunt down Diogo Teixeira and take any points he can away from him. But at the end of the first lap, from pole, Eric Schmidera leading ahead of Diogo Teixeira. Just about. We'll see how long this second place lasts for Diogo Teixeira ahead of Isaac Gard. Smells Like We and Henry Comsey going side by side onto the start-finish straight. Henry Comsey's all over the back of Smells Like We. He's alongside him, and by the first corner, I'm sure Henry Comsey is going to be through and away ahead of Smells Like We by the first corner, holding on to that inside line. And beautiful move from Henry Comsey there on Smells Like We. Alexander Gray now trying to get a bit of the action, and Sven Gielholt is very, very close behind and closing, and we know what kind of driver he is, so he could potentially disrupt Alexander Gray's overtaking opportunities here as they head through the S's up the hill towards turn 5. Sven Gielholt is alongside. There's a driver in the gravel. Who's that? It Smells Like We. Smells Like We going off there and dropping down into 8th position. Meanwhile, Sven Gielholt is alongside. He's inside of Alexander Gray for the dual right-hander, and he's through up into 5th position ahead of the Swedish driver there. And that's a beautiful move from Sven Gielholt. Absolutely picture perfect. Isaac Gard and Diogo Teixeira still duking it out down the back straight as they were last lap, but this time Isaac Gard seems to have the advantage. He's well alongside and he's got the inside line for the chicane, so all he's got to do is brake deep and cover off Diogo, as he does beautifully, taking a very aggressive curb there and securing that second position ahead of the Portuguese driver. And Diogo now falls into the clutches of Henry Comsey behind. We'll see whether Henry can get by Diogo Teixeira anytime soon, or if Diogo can put up the masterful defence that we've seen him do before, whilst Eric Schmidera extends his leads out at the front. Now this is still a crazy close race, all things considered, isn't it?
Oh, it's nice. At least with Sven just hunting down. He's the hunter of this race.
Well and truly, oh, excuse me. That's one for Ryan Skywalker there. He says I always yawn each race. There you go, Ryan. It's not that racing is boring. I'm just a tired man.
Tradition.
It's traditions. Henry Comsey in 4th position, trying to fend off Sven Gilhold, and we know that Henry's a fast driver, so he can potentially put up a decent defence here on the Dutch driver, but we'll see for how long as he head through the double right-hander. Sven Gilhold well up to the exhaust of Henry Comsey there, pouncing on him as they head down the back straight, and he's going to try and gain all the possible time that he can in that slipstream. He's gained 400s, and then not gained any more, so it doesn't look like the move's going to be into the chicane, because Henry Comsey got a fantastic exit out of the double right-hander. And I'll keep my foot in my mouth because Sven Gilhold with a beautiful lunge up the inside of Henry Comsey there into the chicane. Oh, Alexander Gray puts Henry Comsey round in the chicane, and that was a disgraceful move from Alexander Gray there. Completely misjudged his braking and put Henry Comsey round. Henry Comsey's going to be seeing red underneath his visor there as he rejoins in 8th position just behind Alexander Gray, and that's a strong contender for Maldonado Award, isn't it?
It definitely is, and we got another hunter on the track. Ryan going for Max. He will want more points than Max.
Oh, he certainly will if he's ever to catch him up in this championship.
The next hunter right now.
Yep, and Henry Comsey's got himself past Alexander Gray, the driver who put him off just a minute ago, and Alexander Gray is struggling, falling into the clutches of Keith Holt, and these two are battling once again. Could this be a nice rivalry in the midfield between Keith Holt and Alexander Gray brewing? Potentially. We'll see how it falls over the rest of this lap. Sven Gilhold is hunting down Diogo Teixeira for 3rd position down the back straight. Diogo Teixeira trying to defend all he can, sticking to his inside line, keeping that inside line protected from the Dutch driver, but Sven is looking to try and find a way through. He looks left, then he looks right. He decides that he's going to stick to the outside line. He's well alongside and through on Diogo Teixeira before the corners even started. But Diogo with a beautiful, beautiful defence. Oh, he took it right to the line there, but Sven just had a little bit of overspeed on Diogo Teixeira there, and Diogo drops down into 4th position. Sven Gilhold up into 3rd with a beautiful move around the chicane. That really is the overtaking spot of this track, isn't it?
Oh, it definitely is. But Sven is eating in this, I want to say rookies for breakfast. Goddamn, he's just going through them so fast. We never seen, let's say, recovery as fast as this.
Well, I mean, we say that. However, there is one driver on another similar style recovery, and that's Ryan Skywalker. He's closed up the gap between himself and Max 7 from about 1.5 seconds a few laps ago to half a second. And Max just really doesn't have the pace in this car at this circuit this time round, but Ryan Skywalker does, and they're heading down the short straight now towards double right-hander. Max isn't a million miles away from Sven. This lead battle could come back into it, couldn't it, from last race?
It's great. You can see basically the 4 groups of racing. It's Eric on the top, then it's from Isaac to Ryan, then it's from Henry to Michelle. Well, to Alex, and Michelle is alone.
Yes, yeah, that's very true. Bloody hell. You can look at it on the track map. I wish I could get a track map up for the stream as well. That is a... yeah, it's literally 2 groups of racing right now with Eric Jamandera and Alex Heller off the back of them. Well, ahead and bookmarking them rather. And speaking of Eric Jamandera, I just thought I'd give him a bit of screen time because he has led this race from pole, and so he's flying. But I'm going to quickly jump back to 2nd place because there is a new 2nd place driver, and that's Sven Greenhold. Bloody hell, Gilhold. It looks like he's made light work of Isaac Gard there as they come through into the 3rd corner, and yeah, Isaac can do nothing but watch as Sven travels into the distance, and potentially Isaac's now in trouble because he's got Ryan Skywalker, Max New behind him, obviously behind Diogo Teixeira. They need to clear him first. What's happened to Henry Comsey? Oh, Henry Comsey has gone off once again. He's fallen a cropper to the S's once again, and he has dropped all the way down into 10th position, the final points scoring position, and this is going to be a real dampener in his fight for 3rd position with Ryan Skywalker in the championship.
I thought the SS were hard in a TCR, but guys, what are you doing? I was driving them in DCR, a front-wheel drive car, which is hard. We don't like DCRs.
This is a difficult track to drive.
Yeah, this is a rear-wheel drive car. It should be easier.
Well, you say that. It's much easier to lose a rear-wheel drive car, isn't it?
True, true. But it's easier to get understeer and mess up a corner.
Well, I mean, these drivers,
oversteer.
these are some top class drivers here at the Track Titan Community Race Series. So if they're getting caught up by the racing, then anyone could. This is it goes to show how challenging Road Atlanta really is, and we've got some challenging tracks up for the vote for next week.
Alton Park did nothing to them, but just Road Atlanta just messes up.
Hey, it could be, and Watkins Glen is also a potential for next week. Oh, and who's that going round? It's Diogo Teixeira. Diogo Teixeira going round there, dropping down into 6th position, just got a little bit of oversteer out the corner, and he was in the wall. Rejoins in a kind of world of his own between the two groups of racing, but Ryan
doesn't like to see a familiar face in his rear mirrors. Well, now side by him, it's Ryan Skywalker. Side by side with Max will come into the chicane. Side by side, if he can brake later, he does, and that's a great overtake for the 4th position for Ryan Skywalker.
That was beautifully called there. Very, 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 very well done by Ryan Skywalker. And up into 4th position for the South African driver, and he's going to try and hunt down Isaac Gard and try and get himself onto the podium and get as many points as he can to clear away and, well, do anything that he can to rescue this championship fight, because currently his championship defense is not going according to plan.
But I said that the last chicane will be a great overtaking point. I called it.
This is true. You did true. This is true. You did call that very well. And this is about the only battle going on track, isn't it? The rest of the groups have kind of spread out. We had 2 groups of racing before, and then all it took was a couple crashes and a couple spins, and suddenly drivers are spread all across the track. And heading through the S's is a second group led by Diogo Teixeira there. Diogo Teixeira running in 6th position. Great place for him to be in, and he's doing very well to hold his place there, despite his earlier spins. And, well, he's battling with Michelle Rodriguez, but Michelle Rodriguez is, of course, a lap down. And, yeah, friendly foes, Ryan Skywalker and Max Newt, are going side by side down the back straight, and they are hunting each other down. Oh, Ryan Skywalker messes up. He messes up well and truly. What happened to him there? We're heading down the back straight. Ryan Skywalker seemed to go left and right under braking. And he's stopped on the exit of the track, and he's disconnected from the server. What on earth has happened to Ryan Skywalker there? What about championship protagonists? Maybe he's...
His VR headset, maybe.
It could be his VR headset. It could have been his wheel. Something looks like it's disconnected for the driver there, and that's devastating to see after he raced so well to get himself up past Max Newt 7. But, well, that won't matter to Max. Max inherits 4th position, and he's going to be happy to see that. Although, a bit of schadenfreude maybe, you know, happy of Ryan's dismay, but... still, I'm sure he feels for him as a fellow driver. That's such a shame for Ryan Skywalker there. Dropping down and out of the race. So that kind of does conclude all the racing on the track. The only other ones that are kind of close is Henry Comsey and Smells Like We. They're battling for 8th position through the S's. Henry Comsey heading down the hill all over the curbs on the inside and the outside, and Smells Like We just
should not forget
his lines. What's this?
Sven is speeding down the back straight, and he's actually catching Eric right now. Last time we looked at it, it was over 12 seconds. Right now it's down under a second.
Goodness me. Sven has just gained half a second in one corner on Eric Schmendera. This seems like a matter of time for Eric to be passed, and we know what kind of driver Eric is. Eric will defend with all of his might. We know he can defend very, very well, so we'll see if Sven can make the move count. They're heading round the first corner now. Sven Gilhold in the bright, shiny Comet car, and Eric Schmendera in the classic Porsche livery. Eric, though, not got the speed in him. Look at the kind of pace that Sven Gilhold is catching him at. He's tailing him all the way through the S's. This isn't an overtaking opportunity as he head through the S's. The overtaking opportunities come later in the circuit. This is kind of one of them. He's going to try and get up behind Eric Schmendera. He's going to get in the slipstream. He's going to try and learn where Eric goes wrong. He's going to psych him out. He's going to move to the outside there, but Sven Gilhold not able to make the move count. Clips Eric Schmendera there a little bit as he comes through into the second right-hander, and that has compromised Eric a little bit as they come out of the second right-hander onto the back straight. Sven Gilhold and Eric Schmendera still going at it, tooth and nail. nail. Their line astern down the back straight, over each of the crests down the back straight. Eric moves to the right, and then he moves to the left. He tries to hold the inside line from Sven Gilhold, but Sven is alongside. He's a quarter alongside. He's probably about halfway alongside, and he's through on Eric Schmidera before the chicane's even begun, and Eric's got absolutely no answers for him there. Sven Gilhold, with a beautiful move, sweeps around the outside of Eric Schmidera, and it's inheriting first position once again. Is this going to be a double win and a grand slam for Sven Gilhold there? Pole position, pole position, won at both races. Potentially, Eric's going to try and fight back all he can, but Eric just doesn't have the pace to keep up with this driver. He is on fire today, and the only man that could keep him honest was Ryan Skywalker, and he is gonzo. He's gone.
That's it. That's the fight basically diffused. Oh, didn't see it, but Alex and overtake on El Ripo into the S's. That's a chicane. Because why would you name the chicane an S?
I think your track map's confusing you, mate. The S's are the S's is the ones between turn 3 and 5.
It says that the S's is the name of the chicane. I'm just.
No, the S's is just the S's are the. This is hold on. Where El Ripo and Alexander Gray are?
It's the Clayton corner into the S's, and then it's the uphill is the Quebec corner.
I want to know what track map you're reading from. I think this has just been.
I'm just doing the track description from Assetto Corsa.
Oh,
and
this
then
is
it says
why.
turn. It just says turn 4 at. I don't know, like turn 8, turn 7.
Yeah, you just got some kind of dodgy track map, mate. I'm going off racingcircuits.info. It's never betrayed me.
You know, I'm going on the internet.
We have got a three-way battle though. All of
failed me.
A set of courses let you down here. The clock's ticked down to 0. I don't think we're on the final lap quite yet. I think we've got another 2 laps for these drivers here. So this three-way battle's going to heat up a little bit as Henry Comsey moves through an El Ripo. What a move from Henry Comsey there. You know what? It looked so slow, but I suppose if it looks slow, it's actually quite fast. And Henry Comsey with a picture-perfect move on El Ripo there to inherit 6th position. And now he's going to try and hunt down Alexander Gray and try and take that 5th position away from him. Meanwhile, Max Newt 7 is trying to take away 3rd position from Isaac Gard. He's well onto the back of him now as they're heading through the double right-hander. He's going to try and line up a move into the chicane potentially. Can he get a good exit off this corner? He can. He's gaining on Isaac Gard all the way down the straight now. He's already moved to the outside. Could he potentially get the move done before they've even reached the halfway down the straight? I think he can. He's well alongside and he's actually through on Isaac Gard halfway down the straight. Isaac had a terrible exit out of that second right-hander there, and Isaac Gard is going to have to drop down into 4th position unless he can break very deep. He can indeed. Holds onto that inside line, and that's a great defense from Isaac Gard there. Max potentially being a little bit generous to him there and allowing him that inside line, but nonetheless, Isaac Gard holds on to 3rd position just for a little bit longer as Max 67 comes back for round 2 on the start-finish straight into turn 1. Max 67 looking up the inside. Oh, and Henry Comsey's round. No, he's not.
No, he's
that
not.
Round? Keith Holt.
It's the Assetto Corsa.
It's Keith Holt. He was a lapped driver and he's confused me. There he is. Rejoining the track safely. Well, we're on the final lap, and, well, fortunately, Sven Gilhold is not too far ahead of these drivers, so we can keep an eye on this battle almost all the way to the end as they're heading down the straight now. Max Newt still keeping Isaac honest. Isaac trying to hold on to this podium position for as long as he possibly can. We'll see if he can do it right to the line as they have only got half a lap left. Can Max Newt 7 once again get the better exit out of this right-hander? It looks like he might have done once again. He's going to get in Isaac Gard's slipstream. He's going to try and gain all the time that he possibly can on him down the straight. He's closing in on him, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough as they're heading into the chicane. Isaac Gard is going to have to put up a serious defense into the chicane. I'm going to jump to the leader for 1 minute. Potentially when they get to this chicane, we'll see who comes out ahead of at this chicane. It looks like it's going to be Isaac Gard. He's going to hold on to 3rd position to the end, but it's a second win today for Sven Gilhold, kind of overshadowed there by the racing, but what a double race win, and, well, beautifully fought by Sven Gilhold right to the end there, taking 2 wins on his Track Titan Community Race debut and making us all look like amateurs. Eric Schmidera takes some 2nd position after leading from pole for most of the race and then getting passed by Sven, which isn't a bad thing because we know how fast Sven is to drive. And then Isaac Gard holds off Max 67 to the line just about. finishes in 3rd position after that great defence out of the chicane, and Max Newt does finish in 4th position. His championship rival, Ryan Skywalker, does not finish the race, and so he's just going to be a happy boy to see that. Out of the final corner, Henry Comsey, the second Finn in a line, comes home to finish 5th, and that does potentially make the gap between himself and Ryan Skywalker just that little bit tighter, so it's getting tight at the top still, even with Max 67 running away.
We got informations on Ryan. As I said, it's the VR.
Ryan Skywalker's VR has failed him once again. Absolute devastation for Ryan there. That is really, really upsetting. Well, there you go. That's the end of the second race, and that's another win for Sven Gilhold. What a way to make a name for yourself. He could potentially be causing absolute ruckus in the championship if he continues this run of form. He doesn't want to have a natter, but that's all right. We can potentially get someone else. Let's get Eric Bandera. Let's abduct him. Let's see what this man's got to say. He's got a little bit of drink in him. We'll see if he can keep a sentence together. Eric, 2nd place in this race, but what happened in the first race, mate?
Something broke.
Was it on your wheel or your car?
I can tell you that something broke on the first race, and I've got absolutely no idea why. Either it was a curb or it was my steering wheel that randomly did something.
That's devastating. Did you come together with another driver there that disconnected as well, or not?
During the first race?
Yeah, when you crashed.
I crashed on my own.
On your own,
then
okay.
I got hit by like 2 or 3 people.
I think that might have been the cause of... I've forgotten his name. Excuse me. Bora, the newer driver's name. He disconnected anyway after that incident. But, well, you know what? These things happen, and you finished 2nd place. You got passed by Sven. Sven, what kind of pace has that man got?
Well, he's fast. He's got the pace of... I would say that he's got the pace of Ryan when he's practicing. But Sven did it without that much of practice. He didn't put thousands of laps. He had something like 40.
Yeah.
I think
so not
about 40 laps in the pre-quali. So yeah, that's impressive. He's mighty fast. Maybe that's his favorite car. Maybe he knows this track well. I don't know, but he's fast.
Yeah, we'll see if he comes back for another race, if he causes some more chaos in the championship. But well, you did very well. Even so, 2nd place is no mean feat, and I think that's going to put you a little bit further ahead of Michelle in the championship standings for 3rd position, right?
Yeah, since he didn't finish the 2nd race.
I don't believe he did. Or he finished in 11th, but...
Ah, so no points. Yeah, whatever.
So no points. So, yeah, Eric Schmadera, happy boy. Oh, yeah, that's for 4th position, isn't it? 4th position in the championship. So, yeah, I think that might put a little bit of daylight between yourself and Michelle. Think you can keep him away?
Well, considering the fact that I already used all of my free 0-point races when I didn't drive, I think I can do it. I think I can even get into P3.
Oh, fighting talk. Henry Comsey, best watch your shoulders.
If you can see my camera now, yeah?
Yeah, point it out. I haven't got it on the stream. I should get it. You'll have to just go into the chat and point at him. Well, no, well done, mate. Really good racing, and well, commiserations for the first race, but 2nd place in the 2nd race. We'll hopefully speak to you soon.
I've got a podium every single time I race, so I'm happy with that.
He's like Max.
He's Max Verstappen.
Every time Max raced, he won.
Yeah, every time I finish, I get on podium every single week.
Look at that. Too easy for you, isn't it? Making us look like amateurs.
No. And you know what? We talked about it earlier.
Right. Well done, Eric. It's good to speak to you, mate. And hopefully...
It's nice to be back on the interview again.
Of course.
I haven't been there for a while.
You've been missing out on the classic stream banter. Right. Well, we'll speak to you soon, Eric.
See ya.
There you go, Eric Madera, having a natter with us after finishing the 2nd position, and like I said, no words from Sven today, so the mysterious winner remains mysterious. Good amount of racing today, and, well, all things considered, it was a fairly chill day, wasn't it, I think, here at Road Atlanta?
Oh, it was. It was pretty calm. Not a lot of people showed up.
Well, we'll see how it goes next week. And I have got news about next week. Next week, we will be racing at the Red Bull Ring.
Bro.
The Red Bull Ring in the McLaren F1 GTR. It won by 1 vote. So it was a very, very tight vote run to the end. Keith didn't even want to call it until after the race, but that's how it's been called. McLaren F1 GTR at Red Bull Ring next week, this time next week. So hopefully that leads us to some more good racing. But until then, from myself, Adam Chapman, from Spitslam alongside me, it's thank you and good night.